Morning, it is Fitzy and Wippa. It is 8 to 8 and we are still joined by Russell Crowe. The Mummy is in cinemas June 8. Now, Russell, you play Dr. Henry Jekyll in this movie, and big question is, mate, fight scene with Tom Cruise. We've been talking about this all day. How can you even think about punching Tom Cruise in the face, mate? He's one of the most beautiful men in the world.
He hasn't aged, has he?
You know, I've been mates with Tom for a long time. I first met him in Los Angeles in 1991.
You're right.
There's going to be a lot of names hit the ground here, so everybody just
go for it.
Yeah, mate,
gird your
fire
loins.
away. I'll pick them all up.
Gird your loins. So we were at a party at Naomi Watts' house.
Oh, great start.
And I was sitting sort of out in the garden, sort of, you know, because it was a little bit fancy. I didn't know these people, you know.
Drinking bourbon.
Nicole comes over for a chat.
Nicole Kidman.
I'll
pick that
with
one.
her husband at the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course,
and she was like, Tom, this is Russell. And he was like, oh, hey, man. Blah, blah. And he starts talking about Romper Stomper.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sitting at a party in Los Angeles at Naomi Watts' house, and Tom Cruise
is talking about
arguably
Romper.
the biggest movie star in the world at the time, has seen Romper Stomper, he's seen Proof, he's seen The Crossing. Nicole blooded him into this sort of habit of watching independent Australian film. So he became,
amazing,
you know, a really big supporter.
Yeah, sure.
Early in the 90s there, he asked me to do a film with him where he was the good guy and I was the bad guy. Mm-hmm. And I said, listen, you know, one of these days I'll make a movie with you.
Yeah, right.
But I want to be on the same team. You know?
Yeah.
So I sort
I don't want to be head-to-head with you. And you waited until 2017 to do that movie, Russell, which is The Mummy.
Yeah, but, you know, it gave us the opportunity to do something that we both really enjoy. I mean, I haven't actually seen the film, so you got me at a bit of a disadvantage.
It's okay, it's good,
I'm
it's great.
assuming the fight sequence is okay.
It's great. It's huge.
Cool.
But the thing is,
That hurt.
did it really? Because
That hurt a lot.
That's what I wanted to ask. Because how physical does it get? I mean, there's a lot in
That's
it.
100% it.
Is it really?
That's me and Thomas making a decision at the beginning saying, shall we do this? And off we went. You know?
No way.
Well, we just had this thing that, like, if we're going to have a confrontation, there's going to be a certain percentage of the audience that has to be a big thing.
Yeah.
If we're going to
Because I thought you would just film it in little bits, like I'll get him in a headlock, and if we speed that up, it'll look like a fight, right? And then we'll just roll through this slowly, and I reckon we can make it happen.
He just doesn't work that way, man. You know, he does wire work in that fight. You know, I throw him through a glass thing, you know, backwards. You know, but the joke I like to make with this is because we've used, you know, some standard boxing moves. We've used a bit of martial arts.
Yep.
And then at the end, I backslam him, you know, with a rugby tackle on the table. We drew from all of our experiences.
With a Sammy Burgess tackle. Hey, talking of Sammy Burgess, we had him on recently because there's a lot of whispers going around that Ridley Scott is thinking about bringing out a sequel to Gladiator, Gladiator 2. Have you spoken to Ridley about it? Are these ridiculous claims, or could it be on the cards, Russell?
Look, the thing is, Ridley and I have actually talked about that continuously. So to say that we haven't, or it's a surprise that it's on his mind, it would be BS, you know. But, you know, we have that slight little problem of me dying the first one.
Is there a way around that?
Well, the thing is, he believes there is. And I think he currently feels now that he has license to be as bold as he wants because he's an older man, and you should just shut up and watch his movies.
Yeah, I agree.
He's got a little bit of that going on at the moment, you know. And look, mate, I love working with Ridley. There's nobody I have more fun with on a movie set than Ridley Scott. So, you know, if it comes up, but I really think that story is really one of those things that just catches fire. He's doing press for Alien.
Yeah, sure.
Somebody brings it up. You know, the one time out of 400 he deigns to give an answer, bites him on the arse. Now he has to talk about it on every red carpet. And I can see from his grumpy face when he's on the red carpet, he didn't have a plan. He wasn't outlining something that he's working on. He was just responding to a question.
Because I thought he said he had come up with a way to get past the fact that Maximus dies.
Well, we over the years, we've come up with a lot of different ways, you know.
Can we just sign off on it, mate? Because we'd love to see you do it. Gladiator 2, coming soon.
But he's doing this shaming thing at the moment. He's going, well, I'd like to, you know, but Russell's out here, and I need him to be here.
Russell,
you know?
and look, we're not going to ask you, but do you still know majority of the lines from the Maximus Decimus Meridius, the famous quote?
I absolutely guarantee you've seen this movie way more than I have.
I reckon I would have too. I've seen it so many times.
The thing is, it's kind of like a little bit like Pavlov's dog, though. Once, and those sort of things.
Yeah,
I would think that I don't remember something, but if like I heard a couple of words, the entirety of the rest of the speech would just come out of a file
straight there.
It's like,
Russell, do you want to have a bit of a chuckle? Because you know the big fella over here, he's been impersonating you for a few years.
I've tried.
yeah. And the thing is, now I can see how close you are to the fish markets. I realise why the quality of that comedy has been in a certain way.
Hang on a minute.
It's the same smell.
Hang on a minute. That's not why you're in here.
No, because what I needed to bring up, when Les Mis came out, the movie, we got to sit down with Hugh Jackman, and, mate, he sat with Hugh Jackman, and he went into your character. He went into Valjean, and he acted out the scene with Hugh Jackman. He wanted to be you so much. We've actually got audio of Wippa singing with Hugh Jackman. Have a listen to this.
Believe like me what you will.
Men like
There is a duty I'm sworn to do.
No.
You know nothing
2, 4, 6, or 1. My duties do the law. You my duties do the law. It's that bit. Now the wheel has turned around. Jean Valjean is nothing now. If you can see the face that Russell Crowe is pulling right now.
Wow.
It's like he's just...
That was so courageous.
Courageous. Good feedback.
You're a brave actor, little buddy.
I went for it. I really went for it.
Russell, is it true that you originally offered Wolverine before Hugh?
Yeah, Brian, that director of that, was a friend at the time, and he was really putting some pressure on about that.
So you could have been Wolverine.
If you remember, Maximus has a wolf in the centre of his corral.
Yes.
And he has a wolf as his companion at the beginning of the film, you know, which I thought was going to be a bigger deal. Right. So I said no, because I didn't want to be, you know, Wolfie the general and then Wolfie the other bloke. And then, now I'm Mr. Wolfman. It's like, I can only do movies that have something to do with wolves.
And you could have done Dances with Wolves.
However, you know, the remake.
Kevin Costner and Russell Crowe in Dances with the Wolves.
Yeah, and anyway, so it didn't feel right at the time. Plus, I hate to say this out loud, but I've never been a comic book sort of person.
Right. Yeah.
I like books with lots of words.
Yeah.
You know?
But you like
I got over reading army comics.
Yeah, sure,
You know,
sure.
where the Germans would always say "Donner und Blitzen" when I was about 9 or 10. You know. But yeah, so I just didn't know the world.
Did you chip Hugh Jackman into it?
Yeah, I did.
Right.
I did, because he showed me a piece of artwork.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
And I went, well, mate, you know, you should check out this guy. Hugh, and those conversations took place over a number of social occasions where he was still sort of pushing it towards me. And then he actually saw some footage from Gladiator, and he went, you know what? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right.
You know, 'cause that symbolism. However, when Ridley was cutting the movie, it was inconvenient to keep the dog alive. So, dog gets whacked first couple of scenes, never see it again. Yeah. The whole wolf thing and the fact that I'm wearing wolf teeth around my neck, nobody ever mentions it. Moving right along, you know.
You just can't control these things.
This is great. Okay, all right, now we need to move on. We want you to stick around because we need to talk about your music as well. You're involved with something at the moment called Indoor Garden Party that a lot of people are asking about, so we're going to ask you a bit more about that. Can you stick around a bit longer, Russell?
Might as well.
Well done, mate.
Perfect.